It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hello. Sounds. Anybody home? Good evening, good night, good afternoon, good morning, good whatever time it is in your location. Hopefully you can hear me and you can see me. God is good all the time. Give me some feedbacks if you can, just to try to settle the show. And remember, the show is for the people. I am here for the people. The link always provided on top there for people to call. So feel free to do so. Thank you so much for everybody for stopping by. Let's get at least 50 likes as soon as we can, you know. The more you like, the more people will join us. So if you can help me, you can do that for me. And then that is going to be a big help. Just 1 second. How everybody is doing, right? Good. Saturday night, huh? Or whatever day it is in your location. Probably it's already Monday or already Tuesday in Mars or in the moon somewhere. You never know. Okay, so Alan said that good morning. Okay, it's 2 a.m. here. Where are you calling from, or where are you watching from, Mr. Allen? Akim say hello. Hello, Akim. Nice to see you. Like the video, spread the news. The more you like, the more we get people here. So, waiting for you to call. So, thank you. Much appreciated. And still cold here, as you can tell, but we're gonna just try to cope with the situation. So it is what it is. It's the nature. You can't change the nature. So what are we gonna discuss about? I don't know, because the show is for the people. People bring their own topics, and then we start discussing. We start talking about stuff, you know. So you can bring your own topic, and we're gonna discuss. Pedro Porro actually played his last game for Sporting before flying to London. They lost, by the way. They lost against Porto. I think it's the League Cup. Let's call it the Carabao Cup, right, over there, just to make it easier for other people to understand. So today, it was the League Cup final over there in Portugal, and Porto actually beat Sporting Lisbon. And this brother here, Mr. Pedro Porro, was, emotional and kind of saying goodbye to the fans. I don't know if I have the copyright to show you, but yeah, as you can tell here, Pedro Porro. I'm not going to put it really on the screen because I might be in trouble with the law. So, yeah, he's going to be a new Tottenham Hotspur's wing back, or they don't play 4 at the back. I don't know. So, like you see here, Mr. Here we go, Fabrizio Romano said, Tottenham reached full verbal agreement with Sporting to sign Pedro Porro. Here we go. It will be sealed in the next 24 hours. If all goes according to the plan, Pedro Porro will say goodbye tonight and then sign for Spurs until 2028. Boarding completed. London, here we come. So, yeah, coming to London to sign for Tottenham. But it reminds me of somebody called Sergio Regulon, when he joined Tottenham Hotspurs under Jose Mourinho, I think, and everybody said that he was better than Ben Chilwell and all that. He even trolled Chelsea a lot when we drew at the bridge, and he was like, yeah, when you drew at the bridge and you still top of the table, top of the league, stuff like that. And what happened? No. Conte doesn't rate him. And he's on loan somewhere, I don't know, Atleti Madrid or somewhere in Spain. So Pedro Porro looks very, very good on paper, online. A lot of tricks. But I think Chelsea did their homework, and they decided to go for Malo Gusto instead of Pedro Porro. And some speculations been going on that Pedro Porro actually has some issues with Joao Felix and all that. I don't know. I never read it from an official source or anything. It's just speculations. But yeah, I'm happy that Chelsea got a 19 years old beast. Yeah, he's really beast. Reece James is gonna be in trouble, because he need to up his game to the next level if he want to keep the place. And that is exactly what we want. We want competition from everywhere. And Reece James you're gonna see him in another level. So it's all good for Chelsea, because we have 2 quality, one of the best in the business right now, in one position competing, and they can even play together. Why not? Hey Lusala, nice to see you. If Chelsea has to choose between Caicedo and Enzo, who would you pick if Chelsea has to choose? If Chelsea has to choose, or if I have to choose? You're asking me, not Chelsea, right? If I have to choose, depend on many factors. I think I will go for Caicedo. I will go for Enzo, for the fact that he can create more than Caicedo, who is more defensive. But you can make a case. Caicedo has done it in the Premier League. Enzo Fernandez just vibes so far. We have to see him in the Premier League. He's not gonna get that kind of space to operate, so he need to completely change his game. Depend on many factors. If the price is the same, right? Let's be fair here. The price is fair, and Chelsea wanna spend the same amount of money, and then you have two players to choose from. I will go for Enzo Fernandez because of what he can offer. You know, I just want to see somebody who can break lines, who can play always progressive football, and not sideways anymore. I'm sick and tired. And in that position of Moises Caicedo, we have Denis Zakaria. Before his injury, he was awesome. Kante is coming back from an injury. We can use many other people. Kovacic still good because he can still put tackles and can dribble, beat pressure and all that. We can keep him. So I think we need more of Enzo Fernandez type of player than Caicedo. But I won't mind getting Caicedo, right? And it's always good when it comes to hijacking some players from Tottenham Hotspurs and Arsenal. It always makes you feel good. But realistically, I will go for Enzo, knowing that he's going to struggle also in the Premier League at some point. And we have just to support him. Mr. Eben, hey, how are you doing? We are solid midfielder now. What do you mean by that? We haven't bought anybody yet. How are we still solid? I don't know what you mean. Kenny14 say, Ogs, would you be doing a transfer deadline stream? Yeah, I am going to do it. The problem is I might be away that day because the family thing and we have to travel somewhere. But I will see if I can bring some of my equipment to do a live show over there. So, yeah, definitely on that day, probably we're going to have few shows. Not like the entire day because I have to walk. And like I said, I will be on trip. And I will be on and off. Probably have a show in the morning and have another show before the deadline, the transfer window closed. So, yeah, definitely if God allows us to be there, I think we're gonna have a transfer deadline show. But we have many things can happen from now to then. So yeah, we'll be there, my friend. We'll be there, Kenny. Lusala say that and in case Chelsea get one, should Jorginho stay? Well, I don't want to really talk much about Jorginho anymore. I don't make decisions. If I don't see anybody spending money on Jorginho, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. Anybody that will get him on free. That is a guarantee. And if it was Marina was going to give him a 2 years or 3 years contract and hope to sell and get money. But this time it looks like the new owners are going, no, we're not going to take that risk anymore. Let him go on free. So listen, if Jorginho can give Chelsea a good last few months of his contract at Chelsea, we say goodbye, we shake hands, and he's going to be happy somewhere, and we're going to continue. Chelsea will continue. Makelele was there, he was gone. Job Nobi Mikel, Ramirez, Frank Lampard, Michael Essien. So people come and go, So we have just to stick and respect the team more than an individual, because many people don't want to tell the truth because Jorginho is, is the guru, So That's the way it is. So people, don't forget to like. If you can help me get 50 likes as soon as possible, it doesn't cost us anything. And there are already almost 50 people watching now, but only like 12, 13 or whatever likes. What's going on? The brother will be here for hours just for the community. If you can give him 1 second of your life by clicking that like button, it's gonna be amazing, you know. It's gonna be amazing. So let's get to 50 likes and then we can move from there. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay. So just in case you didn't know, we have the link that's been provided there for everybody to call. Just in case you wanna call. So this Pedro guy is going to be a Tottenham Hotspur's player, and Keylor Navas. This guy is coming to England, to Nottingham Forest. I don't know. Nottingham Forest been getting a lot of players lately. It's over 25 new players since last summer until now. All of them, some of them played in very, very big teams around the world. So they looks like the United Nations of players over there, from different nationalities, from different leagues. I was afraid that they will get relegated because they can't understand each other. And when you're trying to build a team, you don't need to change too much too quickly. But it looks like they're gonna stay. You know, they are out of the relegation zone at the moment. They are signing Brazilians, Argentinians, Africans, all kind of nationalities. Now they have this world-class goalkeeper who won probably three Champions League with Real Madrid. Moved to Paris, and in Paris he's not playing a lot of games at the moment because of Donnarumma. Not because Donnarumma is better than him, but Donnarumma, they didn't spend any money, by the way. He left on free from Milan, joined them in a huge salary. So they are trying to establish him as number one. So when you have two world-class goalkeepers, you have to make a decision at some point. And I think they choose to go with the future, which is Donnarumma instead of veteran. I don't know, 25 years old or 24. I don't know how old is Navas. But Navas is too good to be on the. He's too good to be on the bench. That's why he chose to go and play football somewhere else. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him for choosing something for his career. I think he still has a lot of stuff to offer. So respect to Navas coming to the Premier League, play week in, week out. Well, he's still gonna get good money because he's still on a good contract over there at PSG. So PSG need to pay part of the money because I don't think he's gonna take a salary cut. No, I am going on loan. You pay me my money. I don't care. He has nothing to prove to anybody anyway. So Keylor Navas, he has the right to ask for his money. Prince Boateng said that he prefers Enzo than Caicedo. Okay. It's a personal choice, so you have to respect people's personal choice. Let's go. I mean, we need a solid midfielder. The midfield in case of injury. Okay. Caicedo type with Kante Zakaria. Yeah, Kante Zakaria. They can hold. They can help us if they can stay fit. We are in good hand or good fit, if that makes sense. But all the same, if we got Caicedo too, is good, but I prefer Enzo than him. Enzo offers something that we don't have. Caicedo offers something that we have already, even though he's still young, and that is a long-term project. But listen, we can always find that kind of profile on the market somewhere. Every single season, every single transfer window, we discover some germs here and then. So even if Chelsea don't sign Moises Caicedo, I'm not gonna be mad or anything. People, we almost there. Please help me get 50 likes as soon as we can. You know, the more you like, the more people will join us. It doesn't cost us anything. It's just one click away, and then you're all set, you know. So Munaisa said that Jorginho will go after summer. After summer. No team can buy him. That's basically what you meant. Nobody is in their right mind at the moment to spend any kind of money on Jorginho, because he's not like a wow player that will come and change the dynamic of the team or take you to the next level. He's just somebody who will give you some kind of stability somehow. So why not wait him and get him on free than spend money? People would prefer to spend money on people who can bring a lot of energy and fight in the midfield. But Jorginho, come on, man. The so-called regista and all that role is dying. That even Sarri himself, Mauricio Sarri, don't play with freaking regista anymore. The guy who came with the philosophy of tiki-taka, password, back passes and sideways. Look at the way Lazio are playing. They play direct football. He understood already that this kind of football takes time to build a team, for players to adapt to the rhythm of doing the same thing over and recycling. So people know how to counter, how to beat them. And Mauricio Sarri himself abandoned his own philosophy. But certain Chelsea fans try to make us believe that, it's Jorginho, without Jorginho can't do anything. That role doesn't exist anymore. Even the philosopher himself abandoned that freaking, because it's just useless. It's a piece of garbage. That kind of tiki-taka recycling, you know. He abandoned it even, you know. He tried it at Juventus when he went there at the beginning. They were beaten all the time. He was like, no, I need some more energy here. This is not going to work here, because people know how to play us. You just put a physical guy in that midfield and it's over. You know, the game is over. So Barcelona or Juventus will probably jump into Jorginho, or probably also Napoli, because he's from there. He built some kind of good relationship. But I think that kind of profile, that profile is over, you know, and he doesn't like improve his game, you know. Certain players would be doing certain things, and as they age, they become more efficient doing certain things. They might change slightly the way they play or the position. But Jorginho can only do that. There is nothing else. No physicality, no breaking lines, no assist, no nothing. But somehow he is the best in the world that we never had. And the Kante being just like disrespected, because he's the guy who made Jorginho that we see today. But all of a sudden, people try, sell Kante, keep Jorginho. Keep Jorginho for other people to be the slave again and protect. That is useless. Skriniar to PSG, not now. He already agreed everything. He's gonna join in summer, because when you have 6 months left on your contract, you have the right to sign a pre-contract with any team in the world, including Jorginho now. If he want to go, he can sign a contract already with somebody else and leave. Hello, Mr. Abdul Nian. I wish this guy, Matheus Nunes, plays for Chelsea Football Club. We can't buy everybody, bro. This is what we do at Chelsea. Like every player that, I wish he was playing for Chelsea. I wish he was. How many of them are we gonna have? Just be realistic. Like sometimes you just have to let it go because it's just too many of them. Yeah, he was good last summer, but last summer we decided, the manager decided that we don't need any midfielder. Nounes was there on the market like for about 25 million or less than that. And then we decided, we have Jorginho. Okay. If we bought Nounes last summer, I think we were not going to be struggling the way we are doing right now. But now it's too late. And like I said, we have new people, new players on the market every single window. So when the door is shut, it's gone, man. It's gone. Your chance is gone. Even Alvarez, Alvarez from Ajax, we wanted to buy him the last minute. Ajax said no because they pretty much sold everybody from that team, and then the last minute we couldn't get him. Do you think that Chelsea are going back for that person, or he can have a chance to move to a bigger team? That's the problem sometimes in football. When you have your chance, your opportunity, you just move because you never know what could happen. If you look at even Leon Bailey back then, like 5 years ago, he was probably the best in that position in the world. Chelsea wanted him. It was some issues here and there. And then we didn't buy him. And then he got injured. And then he started going down south. And until now, he plays for Aston Villa. But imagine back then if something happened and he joined Chelsea. Probably his career was going to be different. So sometimes in football, it is what it is. When the door is shut and then you struggle, it's not going to open again, the same opportunity. And that's why Moises Caicedo, looking like, hey, right now at Brighton, probably he's like on 10K a week or something, or 20K a week. Now you have an opportunity to move to Arsenal or Chelsea where you can get 100K a week. That could be like 10 times the amount of money you've been getting. Your future is secure. So he doesn't want to waste time anymore. He's like, listen, you never know what could happen. A bad injury, ACL injury or something, and you're stuck here. And then you are on very low wage. And then my chance is gone. That's why you see sometimes players like being a little bit selfish. Like, hey, I'm going to do what is best for me right now and force their move away. Henry, what do you have to say? Henry, unmute yourself.
Hey, brother. Again, thank you for all the work you do. I just want to chip in a little something here, and this is in relation to the other comments that the other viewers put in there. For Chelsea, this might or might not directly relate to Caicedo, but I think we've passed the point where we just sign any player because we want to fill in the gaps. Because that's what I noticed towards the end, some years towards the end of the Abramovic era. It's like we didn't have our first choice, so we ended up with people like Bakayoko. Right? So if we have to if we earmark our first choice, we should stick to the first choice because it helps if we start going, okay, the transfer window, is too close, so we should just get someone else. I think it doesn't work that way. And that's one of the reasons why I was happy that we got Malo because I wanted him now, but we couldn't get him now, but we got him anyway. And he's going to be coming in the summer, and we could manage. Reece James is coming back. We could still manage. without Malo here, but we got our first choice instead of just going for someone else.
Yeah, I got your point. We can't always fill up the gaps with third, fifth choices because we end up by having a lot of dead wood. Okay, Mr. Ishmael, are you there?
Yes, brother, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Yeah, let's go. What's going on?
Bro, first of all, I'm actually happy with our signing, to be honest with you. When it comes to Malo Gusto, in a sense.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, especially I think we might have this kind of situation with Enzo. If nothing miraculous happens in the next couple of days,
yeah.
When the summer comes, it's going to be an open season, to be honest. Because as you can see, all the teams in the top four, they all are looking for quality right backs. Especially if you look at Man City, since they started using Cancelo as a midfielder more often. And the youngster is doing well. Lewis is doing well, but they will need a backup eventually. And so will Man United.
Yes.
So I'm thinking for our sake as Chelsea fans, I'm actually glad that at least we got this out the way, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that is a very good point. We have competition. He's not a backup. We don't buy backups anymore. Now we are buying competition in each place because Reece James can't be so comfortable. It's going to help him even grow more when you bring competition. And that's what we need in the midfield now. And we're still all over the place in the midfield, but I think we're going to do good. There are people who are doing a great job at the moment, Chelsea, and I trust them. So
yes. And to add to your point, brother, if you really think about it, we never had something or a project, I would say, that was built, like if you really think about it, since 2004, since the Abramovic and the Mourinho era.
Yeah.
Everything was every year, what can we do now? What players does the coach need at this moment?
Yeah.
Even though we might be here for a season or for two. So I'm actually optimistic to see, a project where every player in every position is actually technically adept for the first time in a long time.
I agree. Henry.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, go.
And I think Malo Gusto is a very smart kid because he insisted he wanted Chelsea, and I think this kid knows that Reece James is the best, and at the same time, Reece James is a bit injury prone, and they might be managing his minutes when he comes back. So Gusto knows that he has a big chance of playing regularly, even when Reece James is fit, because he knows that at some point they'll be managing Reece James, and so he is there. He has his chance, and
he knows that. But also, I was thinking last night, because I think they can even play together at some point. Let's say if we're going for like three at the back, and sometimes we saw under Thomas Tuchel that Reece James was played in the back three, and then somebody else to play like the wing back position. We can always adapt because they are good players. They're gonna, they're gonna do good. Reece James is also a midfielder. For people who don't know, he started as a striker, midfielder, and all that. Can still help us if we really think outside the box. So it's not gonna be always them. It's one or the other. It could be both, and it's gonna help us also to do a very good rotation. Rotation is the key, because how Pep Guardiola managed to keep so many world-class players happy every single season now for 7 years at Manchester City. So if you have a very good rotation system in the team, not only, I'm going to give you a League Cup game here and there, wait until the Carabao Cup is around so I can know. If you can, you can rotate people. They're gonna stay happy and healthy. Because there are certain games like you see that it's really asking and screaming and crying for a change, but the manager will continue with that player for 90 minutes. I still remember when Ben Chilwell got injured the last time after a very long and bad injury, and then he came back. I was screaming. I was doing the watch along here, and I was like, this is time to take Chile out. Take him out. Like, why are we playing this guy? Take him out now. He already played 80 minutes. I know that the last minute could be fatal for many players from injuries. Take him off, man. Less than 2 minutes later, bam. He was injured again and out for 2-3 months. So sometimes we have to learn at Chelsea Football Club to rotate the team properly, because we don't really rotate until somebody is burned down. Somebody is the leg is chopped off, until we really give them proper rest. I don't know. Yeah.
And that's true. And I think also, like, the mental health of these players too, it's important, like, to add to your point, like, to rotate them, because when they have this weight on their shoulders that, they have to deliver when they're around, and then they get injured, and then they go back, like someone like Reece James gets injured, and then he realizes how the team is performing without him, the pressure on him.
The pressure is high.
To come back again, yeah. So if they rotate them like that, playing somewhere else, like you said, it will really...
It will help the team to stay fit and stay happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is a very good point. So, people, let me remind you that you can call us. The link is there, as you can see on your screen. You click on the link, you can join us for free, and also help your brother get 100 likes. Just 1 second of your life. That's what I'm asking for. The brother will be here for hours, so if you can give him 1 second, it doesn't hurt anybody, right? All right, so let's get very quick to 100 if we can before the end of the show. Ishmael, do you have anything to bring on the table, or I should just bring something on the table?
Yes, brother. I just wanted to add something to what both of you said earlier, just a minute ago.
Yes.
When you were shouting and you were saying take Chile out, I was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Because it's with us as Chelsea fans, people forget football is more of an eye test, more than just systems. If we go back to basics.
Yeah.
And the team that we had before the new project, with Vivel and Potter. Everyone is one-dimensional, apart from probably a few players. This is why I think we had the issue with Cucurella not playing well the last few games, even though I sympathize with him because I heard that he had some family issues. It's that one-dimensional football where if a player gets the ball, it's like he runs out of options in a sense. So one thing, well, especially with Chile, he's not much of a technical player. I would prefer Cucurella, but Cucurella can only, because I think he used to play for Barcelona Academy. Before Brighton bought him. So of course he is technical, but if most of your players are not as technical as you, sometimes you feel like not taking that risk.
Okay.
That's why you will see him being a little bit hesitant comparing to his season in Brighton. You remember when he was in Brighton, he would pass the ball, he's running, he's flicking, he can see a through ball, he will go for it. But since he came to Chelsea, you can almost predict what his next move is going to be. So now that we have this new project, I've noticed that all the players that we bought, most of them, are, first of all, they're all under 23, most of them. And the second thing is everyone is very technical. And this only this only backs the point, which is Potter, I think, is one of the most unique English coaches that I've seen. And the reason why...
Many people don't like him in the Chelsea community.
Yeah, I always get the backlash. I know, but one thing I've noticed with him, and I've noticed it with only a few managers. I've noticed it with Luis Enrique. I've noticed it with Pep. I've noticed it with not all the time, but sometimes I've noticed it with Klopp as well. A lot of managers don't tend to change formations mid-game.
Yeah.
But with Potter, and especially the games that we won or drew while he was our manager, if you notice carefully, the first half used to be a formation. When he sees that things are not working out, he will change in the second half. Yes, just like Pep. And for him to be able to do that, he needs technical players.
Yeah, you're making a very good point. But I wanted to tell you that at the beginning when he took over and we were losing, I think he lost his mind a little bit by changing too much, because he just took the job. Changing a system, changing tactics during the game is not something that you're going to just decide out of the blue and people understand immediately. That takes time. It takes time for you to walk every single day in training, and take a month for people to understand what you mean. So I saw certain games that were too many changes, and even like Conor Gallagher found himself as a wing back here and Raheem Sterling as a midfielder, or we were all over the place. Like it was a little confusing at the beginning. I understand that Pep can afford to do that because of how many years he's been with the same kind of players. If you notice at Manchester City, they just bring one or two players and it's going to fit right in the system, because the system is already a well-oiled machine. So everything is going to fit nicely. Akanji, nobody even were taking him seriously when he was at Dortmund. All of a sudden, Pep got him. Look at him now. Even Diaz on the bench, all the big names on the bench, but Akanji playing. So what I mean is that to be able to make those changes all the time, you need time in the training ground, or you're gonna just confuse players, and then you're gonna lose games. And we've seen it, how many games we've been losing because of so many changes in a very short period of time.
Yes, no, absolutely, brother. I agree. And I think this comes back to his naivety when it comes to coaching. Because you remember when Pep came and he joined Man City, he had certain players. Before he had his first window, he had to work with the players that were already there. He tried to use and implement his techniques and formation and systems depending on each game. And he realized that the players cannot perform. They cannot actually, work in what he wants to do and the way he wants to play. So the next season, straight away, luckily because Pep has been in the game since Barcelona, and he was understudy to Cruyff, he already knew what kind of players are tailor-made for his system. Every player he bought, just like you said, Akanji, he sees something that nobody else will see, and that comes with experience, and time, and how you work with pressure and everything. But I think the naivety with Graham Potter is the fact that he just trusted the players blindly. That's the mistake he did.
But because he just inherited a team that he didn't build, he just came out of a KO and took the team. So in that sense, you can give him the benefit of the doubt that he doesn't know them that much, but trying to change too much in a very short period of time always will backfire. Yep,
exactly. That's why it took him at least a year to build. I think the first year when Brighton came up, I think they finished the bottom part of the table. But the second year after that, thanks to the brilliant scouting department, they bought tailor-made players for him. I think now that even though we know this season is going to be a bit difficult for us, and we only have the UCL, like realistically, to challenge for, I think Todd Bowley is actually, I think more importantly, Vivel, because he's a very good scout. He's the one who brought Mane to the scene. He's the one who brought Haaland into the scene. Like he has an eye for talent.
Yeah.
So I think now they're actually getting tailor-made players for Potter. So that imagine all the players that we bought now with one preseason.
It's gonna be fire.
It's gonna be scary.
Noni Madueke is gonna be cooking. Mudryk cooking. Joao Felix cooking. Nkunku cooking.
Yes.
And everybody is gonna be fine. Very technical players, but also physical. If you look at the training that Mikhailo Mudryk is putting up there, like every single the guy basically comes before everybody in the training and leave after everybody. He got his personal trainer also from Ukraine. And if you look at the amount of personal work that brother is putting on, man, if half of our team can put that kind of work, we're gonna avoid a lot of injuries. We're gonna also be very tough on the pitch, hard to beat, because we've been like pushed around, like everybody can just push us and walk on us. The midfield doesn't look like it exists. It's like, wow, it's not even there physically. So so we're getting very technical players, and also we're getting also strong, like physically strong also. That's what I wanted.
Even look at Badiashile. The guy's 21.
Yeah.
And he's very technical.
He's a beast. He's technical and physical, winning everything from the air. He's bullying people. He can break lines from the back line just like nobody else. Man, I'm happy because when I made a video, one of my titles said, I'm happy with Badiashile, and I don't care anymore about Josko Gvardiol. I got a lot of hate. What do you think? We have to break the bank, you pay 100 million. I'm like, listen, this guy is going to improve, and he's going to show you that he might be. I'm not saying that immediately he's better than Josko, but he's taller than Josko, and he can break lines. And the diagonal passes and vertical passes that he's putting, I don't think Gvardiol can do that. People, in the Chelsea community, money, if you spend a lot of money, that means you are getting a bowler. Like, it's automatic. If you cost 100 million, that is world class. But listen, somebody like Kante cost like 500,000 from the second division in France. The same price, less than a million. But look at him. He came to the Premier League. The first season won the Premier League with Leicester City. So it just because you are expensive doesn't make you a good player. Mr. Alex Morgan, we can hear a lot of noise from you, so I'm going to take you off. Come back when your surrounding is more quiet, because we can hear everything that's going on here. Somebody asked me here, did you change your name from the Green Turf? No, the Green Turf is another YouTube video. Oh, YouTube video or YouTube channel. Let me show you. It's still there. That is our main channel. We are growing very, very, very quickly over there. Almost 130,000 people over there, if you can join us. So I make videos every single day over there. But this channel is for football, It's not only about Chelsea or about whatever. We talk here about football in general. The Green Turf, most of the time, like 90% of the time, we talk about Chelsea over there. So the Green Turf still alive. And also another channel that we are trying to push is Soccer IQ, where we're going to be doing all the live streams. So we can focus on each channel for a specific content. So, thank you for asking. And we have Mr. Victor in the building. Victor, unmute yourself. The floor is yours.
Hello, Oz. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I am very excited to be back here. I hope all of you are doing well. Big up, everybody.
Thank you for being here.
I am a little concerned. I have to actually say that, about this spending that we are doing. it's like we want other teams to go and find these talents, pay 5 million quid for them, and then turn them over or around in just 12 to 24 months and make 13 times it. I mean, why can't we have, why can't we go out there and find these talents? And we happen to be one of the teams in the whole world that has one of the best academies. So I don't understand this whole process. Why can't we find the talents and let others come and purchase from us so we can build a stadium? We need a stadium, folks. So I think we have enough talent there. These 100 million there, 100 million there, it adds up. So I'm really concerned about this idea. It's not my money. It's not anybody's money, but it's concerning because if in the end it's not sustainable, if in the end if it comes back to bite us, it's our team that will face the barrel of the gun. So I think that we should really this chap Enzo, right? I have seen his videos. He's good, but is he 100+ million, pounds good? Really?
That is a question that you have to prove us on Cold Monday in stock.
Yeah, when we have Chukwuemeka can play that position. Zakaria can play that position. Even what is his name? Our versatile player in Robin Loftus-Cheek can play that position. So we have to, if we have truly gone in and bought a coach, because I always say that this coach was actually bought. He wasn't just sitting there not working and we signed him. We went and purchased him from Brighton. So if you have actually gone there and bought a coach, are we to say that none of these players can be improved and be better and man the midfield?
Okay, so I'm going to give the opportunity to other people to answer. Mr. Henry, if you want to answer to Victor, do you think that we should continue spending money or just use our academy and other youngsters that we just bought? What is your opinion?
I don't think this spending. I agree that we do need a stadium, right? Tottenham has a larger stadium capacity than us. The capacity of the stadium also brings in a lot of revenue. Personally, I don't think that this spending is going to be endless, day in, day out. Let's not forget, this is clearly capital. It's an investment company. So at some point, they will want money back. So I think they want to buy these players maybe for a season or two, and then it will stop. And then it will only be about one player here, one player there. That's why they are buying young players. So at some point, they might flip these young players. Maybe by the time they turn 25, they might cost more money, and some other team might buy them. So I think this guy is not foolish. Whatever he's doing, I'm just crossing, folding my arms and see where he's heading. But I believe that this new project does not explode the academy. He wants something that is capable of, competing for trophies while building, from the background. Because he mentioned also that he wants to invest in a women's team. So those other teams, they are not excluded.
Yeah, I understand.
But the problem.
Let also Ishmael respond so we can go back to you, and we're gonna go back and forth. Ishmael, you wanna add something about what Mr. Victor said?
Yes. What Brother Victor said is actually alarming in a sense. But one thing that I've actually noticed, and I think all of us Chelsea fans have actually noticed as well, we've never had a sporting director.
Yeah, now we have like four.
Eminalo.
We have like 4 of them now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And since Eminalo, I mean, Marina, she tried her best.
Yeah.
But when it comes to scouting talents and individual players that are supposed to be tipped to be the next big thing, we never had it.
Yeah.
So what we did was...
we had them, but we didn't use them because of the choices of managers. And the managers back then were under pressure of winning something. So if
Yeah.
you can't really have time to develop anybody, because after 18 months you're gonna be sacked if you don't win a trophy. So yeah, depending on how you see it, but yeah, continue. Let's go.
Yes. No, exactly, brother. You're right. And if you really look back to those times, every manager that came had certain players in mind for his own particular way of play.
Yeah.
So at that moment, they bought 3 for Conte or 4. They bought 3 or 4 for Sarri. They bought 3 or 4 for Lampard. So it was an ongoing issue that we had. But now that Todd Bowley took over, and one thing that I've noticed is, I remember when Roman gave him, when he was buying Chelsea, there was a particular term in the contract that told him he needs to spend $1 billion within 10 years in the club. So since they want money, they will look for profit at some point. What I'm thinking, and I'm sure you guys projected this for us in the future as well, he is trying to build a project that's going to run itself like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Bring in young players under 23 that are hungry and want to prove themselves, but also have high IQ and are very technically adept. And eventually, when they get better, we move them on. And then we can bring in or bring in players from the academy, and we'll be able to balance the team and make sure that the age range is not over 28 within the next few years. And everybody's going to be on form and in the peak of their career.
Okay.
So I think it's an interesting part.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much for your answer. We have Bobby in the house. I will come back to Bobby. I wanted to say thank you for the donation, Mr. FK, my brother from Texas. And thank you for the donation again, my brother. You don't have to every single day. This is too much, even though we have to buy Erling Haaland and buy Mbappe and all that. So the budget is good. Thank you. And he said that Morocco Amrabat, that is the midfielder that he's talking about, can also do the job in that Chelsea midfield, and he's cheaper. Nobody talking about him after the world class show at the World Cup. Yeah, good shout, but I think he doesn't have the profile that Chelsea are looking for at the moment. I think Chelsea are looking for more technical and more creative midfielders. He's really a beast. He's a beast, but I think we still have somebody like Zakaria, who is another beast if he can stay fit. We have Kante coming back from an injury, and we have Andrew Santos who can do the job. Caicedo actually went on loan at the moment. He's gonna finish the season at Reading. So yeah, we have options. We have some people with the same profile at Chelsea already. But thank you so much for the donation. God bless you. Bobby Smokey, let's go.
Yeah, hi guys.
Hello.
I've missed a lot of what's been discussed already.
No problem. You can bring whatever topic, man. We go back and forth. We don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the fact that the midfield is what we're focusing on now, I think, Potter is a project manager, and the sporting directors and the scouting team are doing their homework. They really are, and using data to do their homework. They've shown evidence that they're not just buying ready-made players. They are really going to the depths. I mean, they picked up Andre Santos, they picked up David Fofana, Mudryk. People may say that he was more known, but I don't think so. Many people didn't even know of him until the interest of the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea.
Yeah, even me, I didn't really know him that much. And we also have Noni Madueke. Yeah,
Noni, another one. So they're taking their time, and I think they're really taking their time about the midfield. They're looking at how to use what we have. They're looking at the youngsters we're trying to get through, Caicedo and Santos in particular. And they're looking at these targets. Now, it's been a very quiet day today, apparently. I tend to believe that there's a lot going on
behind the scenes. Yeah.
When they're quiet, that's when they're most operative, as it were. Especially with a few days left to the end of the transfer window. I have no evidence of this, but
you can feel it. You can feel that something is happening.
I still feel that the issue of Enzo and Caicedo is not over.
Yeah,
it's not over,
it's not over yet. We haven't said the last word yet.
One of them, or even both of them, I don't think it's over. So we just have to wait and see what's happening, really. But, I caught the tail end of somebody saying that since Seminala, we haven't had a proper sporting director. And it's told, since Seminala, we haven't really brought in effective players. He brought in the likes of Kante. I know people will point to some of the lesser buys, but Seminala was there for a long time.
Yeah, man. Everybody in life, you're gonna always make a mistakes here and there, but his success ratio is too high there. Emenalo pretty much built that academy on his own. So you have the people that we have, De Bruyne, you Lukaku, you Mo Salah. So yeah, I know that it's gonna be one Falcao here that people would try to put on him, but you forget also that back then head coaches used to be managers, that they also make decisions on who is coming in and who is going out. So if Mourinho said, get me Falcao now, I don't wanna deal with Lukaku, the young Lukaku back then, and then you get him, that guy. So back then the responsibilities were shared. It wasn't like, all the bad things is a Menalo and all the successful thing is somebody else. It doesn't just work that way. But I got to your point, people. Let's help your brother get to 100 likes. The more you like, the more people will join us. It's gonna take you only 1 second. We are a little over 50 likes right now, but we are almost 80 plus, almost 100 people watching. So if you can click that like button, it's gonna help the channel a lot. So let me go back to Victor, because the question came from him. He was talking about why can't we just focus on what we got and develop them instead of buying and spending a lot of money. Focus the money on a new stadium and all that. So I think you have some kind of answer.
Just before that, just one last thing to add. I think because of Brighton's stance with Caicedo, I really think Chelsea should just give them the money for Caicedo, and as an incentive to reduce the price, loan him back to Brighton till the end of the season, just like we did with Gusto. That way, everybody's happy.
Yeah, that is your opinion, and we're gonna respect your opinion. Victor, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here, bro.
Yeah, go on, bro. Are you happy with what everybody kind of discuss?
Yeah, maybe.
Now we have people. Basically, we have the direction. We know what we want, and we're getting them. And we are mixing up with the youngsters that we have, and also we are Chelsea. The end of the day, if you go for youth project only, my brother, you will be the first here to say Porro out, Jose Mourinho out, Tuchel out, because we will be losing a lot of games. The problem with the kid is sometimes they got tired, even physically and mentally, and you need some, key players around them. So now we are not like a Arsenal project because we got the money. We are buying already made, and also we are developing youngsters. So it's kind of good for me.
I find it very difficult to see any sort of tough mentality from the current crop of players who are supposedly experienced. I mean, the thing is, they are losing games left and right. It was 2-3 games back that we were all so very much on our knees, begging for something to happen, because they played a game that they looked woefully against. They look horrible against Manchester City. And we were all like, these folks don't show up. And who were they? Majority of them were the so-called experienced players who have had a brush with winning the Champions League and done all of that. And they were a super duper experience. Now, when you have youngsters, right, they bring at least one thing that these folks don't bring is energy. And they're also hungry for something. That one at least they will give you. And they also listen to a coach who, on the face of it, people think he's a slightly inexperienced in the affairs of dealing with, experienced coaches. So they will listen to him and also will be able to put on new ways of playing, a style of playing that is also new. How can you change the way Jorginho plays right now? The guy is almost 32 years old. He's not going to change. No matter who comes, Mourinho himself will come and tell Jorginho to do something Jorginho will not do. He's set in his ways. He is set in his ways. And if you have a bunch of these kinds of players, right, you are not going to really change my. Everybody's like, what are we doing here? Why are we not changing the way we play? It's because the core, the spine remains the same.
And that is where you are making a good point.
Let me tell you this. If we change the spine a little bit, we might even lose games. But they will find a way to deal with it because we are Chelsea. These youngsters, all the other clubs play youngsters and they do very well. Look at Saka at Arsenal. This guy will not get a chance at Chelsea at all. The way we do our things here. But he is now their star player. We don't give these youngsters. But the problem you don't understand here. We put them in. They play an awful game because the spine is so rotten, and it's been rotten since 2008 in the Sarri era, right? We've not changed the midfield at all, and so that everybody else come, and we don't understand why all these players, Lukaku, Werner, all these players that were doing.
Are you still there? You are breaking.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. So now, can I now respond a little bit so we can move to other people waiting? So what I can say is, like, you giving an example of Bukayo Saka now after 3 years when Arteta took over, he was at the academy. He was given a chance, and back then they had Aubameyang and Guendouzi and all the other names. So it didn't just happen all of a sudden. Look at Saka, look at Martinelli. Those are players that were brought to the team slowly and surely. Your philosophy is like, if a manager takes over, now we have just to change everything. Now sack everybody, but you forget about the dressing room, about the stability of the team, about.
I didn't say that. I have not actually complained about the manager. I'm talking about the players that we.
But the players now we are giving somebody.
Can I thought real quick? The players that have formed the core of Chelsea for the past 5 years. Okay, the players that have formed the core. If you realize, we have signed a lot of players, but they are all in the periphery. We don't sign anybody for the core. We have not had a DM because we've relied on Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic, and everybody else.
So what I'm trying to say here is that this is happening. This is happening. You can tell. Now we have the young Lois Hall who can bench somebody like Kukurea. Now you have Chukwuemeka having more and more playing time. Now sometimes you can see Jorginho on the bench, even though when Jorginho is on the bench, Aspilicueta is going to be there. I don't know if he's trying to protect some kind of experience because they are like the two big head in the dressing room. So one need to be on the pitch, but you can tell that at least he's doing something. So it's not just going to happen overnight, like brutally, the way Frank Lampard did. Okay, Jorginho, such and such, you are out. They might get you sacked because they are popular. People love them in the dressing room. So you don't want to be brutal. Or if I can be mad if tomorrow we hear, oh, Graham Potter want to keep him and we're going to give him 5 more years. That is another story. But what I say is, like, he took over a team already in chaos. We were losing games just like for fun under Thomas Tuchel before he got sacked. So you come in the middle of a situation like that. It's not going to happen overnight and you bring a bunch of kids from the academy and then and then like throw everybody else away. So I think the process really has been good. I think we've been very harsh toward Graham Potter without understanding little things that happen in every team that we don't see, but we just want it to happen now. And it's just not the way it works in the normal world. It's perfect on social media or YouTube because we watch them, but it's not as easy as you come and you change the philosophy one day, everybody is gone. So next summer, Jorginho is leaving. Probably Azpilicueta is going to leave. Aubameyang is going to leave. We have new energy. We have new people coming to the team. Mudryk bringing his fighting spirit and work ethic. Everybody is going to improve and take the game to the next level. So I'm still confident. I am very confident so far. Anyways, otherwise I'm not gonna just talk because the show is for the people. Anybody that wanna jump and say something, you can do it. Okay, so let me also read some comment because I think people are sleepy and people are tired. If you put young players purely from the academy, they will crush with the pressure, guys. That is according to Mr. Monaisa on YouTube. The fact that when we lose games, some players get insulted. Yeah, it's always that way. We want to see those young players. And I still remember when Omari Hutchison had a few minutes here and there, and people start calling out on the kid. Like, this is what we do at Chelsea Football Club. We want to see somebody, and then when he's on the pitch and having good hard time, we can't really support them. So building a team with youngsters is good, but also you have to put all the people around.
Also, I just need to make a comment here and I will shut up. Okay, we have been subjected to poor performances on this field for so long, even when we win. And I'm not saying that, I am not arguing that I want a change, I want success overnight. I am not. I have watched football for so long. I've lived on this planet for more than half a century. I know how you develop a team that has to go through some of these pinnacles and plummets. I know that. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes the problem is right in your face. It's not complicated. This thing is not complicated. Chelsea's core has not been that great. That is why all these other players are failing here, from Pulisic down to Lukaku. And if that is a problem, then it doesn't matter the coach. Right now, I don't even have a problem with Potter. I know that he doesn't have necessarily the backbone yet, and maybe he will develop it at Chelsea, which is to our what is it called? It's advantage because we need somebody to learn on the job, whereas we want instant success as Chelsea. And I understand it is pragmatic. We need to have patience. We need to understand what is going on, and this success is not going to be overnight. But even the ones that the ones that argue we should trust the process should understand that the process, if you are trusting the process, you should have little things that can tell you that the process is in the works. And this is where I'm saying that we are saying that Jorginho will probably leave the team next summer. We should not repeat that mistake of Jorginho ever again, because that mistake is what causes all of these problems. Having a midfield that has no husper. The midfield has no husper. They don't want to fight. Somebody was saying, if the kids just get tired, the kids do this. Jorginho gets tired. Jorginho cannot even run. And I know that I can go on and on about Jorginho. Even what is it called? Kovacic. They have lowered the standards, and that is why what is his name? The gentleman from Atletico Madrid, who just got the red card. I've forgotten his name.
Felix.
Felix just came and walked into the team. Mudryk just came and walked into the team. Any established club like the one that we call ourselves Chelsea, a Champions League winning a team, should not have any player just come and walk into our team like that. especially the loanies. They didn't even sit on the bench. We are that poor, and it's because there is no real spine. These guys are not coming to learn from anybody. None of these guys are walking to the team and say, "Hey, what's it called? Jorginho, teach me how Chelsea play. How does Chelsea play? What is the Chelsea style? How do you do things here?" Nobody is teaching anybody anything because we don't even have the way we play. Now, it's because of manager change and all of that. I understand. But this is where we have to go. We have to go to the fundamentals and really find a way to win games the best way, so that even when we are not playing well, even when we are winning games, we are not playing well, we can tell. Because I like sustainability. And also, whilst we're doing that, this is my last point, we are also being wise and saving money alongside it. Because throwing money at every problem is not a good way. Right now, Chelsea has a reputation in the football world that because we are based in London and because we have all these resources, people, either from Abramovic to the current CEO, we just throw money at the problem. We don't internally solve our problem. We don't solve our problems internal. We always have to go outside there and solve the problem. And this reputation is not sustainable. Everybody we go to talk to wants to raise their prices on us because they know that even though we know we have resources inside the team, inside the club, we can go to our academies, and if they're not playing well, play them anyway. Give them 5, 6, 10, 11 games like you would do with Jorginho, who will go out there and not improve. We know how Jorginho was going to look like anyway. So give these youngsters, and all they need is one super goal, one super dribble, one combination here and there. And their confidence is through the roof, and you are building a team. If you don't do that, and you always throw money at the problem, you are not building a team. That's why people used to call us this a plastic team or whatever, because Abramovic were throwing money at it, because they know that we were not solving the problem internally. At least we have to attempt that, so that when we bring players from without, or players from afar, or players from other clubs, it is just to help what we have already started, but not for them to walk into our team and be the star players and doing everything from there. We should already have a way of playing.
All right. So, yeah, we got you, my brother. Henry, any topic you want to bring on the table? What is going to be like the surprise of the window? What do you think is going to happen now for Chelsea on the market? Do you think that we're going to surprise people, or do you think the door is closed?
Well, I'm waiting for one of Enzo or Caicedo. But I think with the money that has been slapped on Caicedo now, I believe it's better to just add money and get Enzo anyway. So I think something is going to pop up between now and when does it end? Tuesday. So
you are breaking a little bit. You have some microphone issue. I can't really hear you properly.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking that between now and Tuesday, when the transfer window ends, I believe, I think something is going to come up. I believe between Enzo and Caicedo.
Okay, we're gonna sing one of them. Okay.
Yeah, but I prefer Enzo, because with the money that is been slapped on Caicedo, I don't think it makes
worth that money. Yeah.
Sense to try to get Caicedo. Yeah, when we can just get Enzo. So,
I respect that, Mr. Ishmael. Yes. Ishmael, are you still there? You're sleeping already, brother. Bro. Probably 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
No, I'm here, brother.
What are we gonna do the last minute?
Do you want me to address Brother Victor as well, or just that?
Yeah. Go if you wanna answer. Yeah, go on.
Oh, okay. Thank you, brother. What Brother Victor was saying is something that we've noticed in the last, I would say, 6-7 years of the Abramovic era. This is why we as Chelsea fans, well, me personally, I cannot recall 2 seasons back to back that we were consistent.
Yeah.
I personally cannot recall. And the reason why I would say is because there was an issue with the core of our team. Every time when things got hard or when there was any outside pressure that tends to come to the team or even to the players, there were certain individuals that seemed to be downing tools somehow. And I'm sure that in this little time that we've been seeing Potter now, I'm sure they have seen the same issue as well.
Yeah.
I can't say really it's Jorginho. I can't say it's Azpilicueta, but we've seen it. I think this was one of the reasons why Sarri got sacked. Mourinho got sacked in his second time coming to us. Conte had issues in his second season after winning the league. I think, yes, there is an issue. There was an issue in our core. But one thing that makes me optimistic looking up to the future is the fact that now, even though we've spent a lot of money, and as you know, every English club, I don't know why, I don't know where it comes from, they just hate Chelsea.
Yes.
We just get hate from everywhere.
Even
left,
FIFA,
right.
UEFA, everybody just want to block us somehow.
We get it from left, right, and center. So I remember when Abramovic, yes, I remember when Abramovic was going through the issue with being connected to Putin. Everybody thought, we are finished. It's finished for Chelsea. We are over. We're gonna be relegated. We're gonna go down. And then Todd B just came from nowhere. Fair enough, he spent a lot of money, which is a lot, because I think we already outspent Klopp in his 8 years in Liverpool within 6 months.
Yeah.
But if we analyze it carefully and we look at it, we can see there's a projection to the future. Every position is being backed.
Okay.
Every position is being filled with a backup option who is hungry to prove themselves. And I'm sure Potter in his time, especially with the Man City game where we got thrashed by them in the Carabao Cup, I'm sure he's seen this issue in the few games that we were struggling in. So now that we have a few sporting directors that are actually paying close attention to the establishment and the way that the team is actually performing when it comes to Potter, I think all these new players will actually be able to bring the issue out to the open. So, for instance, if Caicedo comes now and takes Jorginho's place, and if Enzo comes and takes Kovacic's place, there will be two options left for all these, I would say, senior players, which is either fight for your position or show us who you really are and start downing tools like you used to. So I think now that this projection and this spending has happened, it's actually for the betterment of our team, because we'll be able to weed out all the core problems that has never been resolved in Abramovic's era within a season or two. So at least I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think Mr. Victor has some connection issues. We can't see. It's telling me here that you are disconnected somehow. You can come back anytime you want. And anybody that wanna bring. So Joao Felix actually sent a message to Chelsea fans today on Instagram, and he posted also on Twitter. But on Twitter he took the notification off, so nobody responded on Twitter. But on Instagram he said something like, he copy paste anyways. He said it's not about how it starts, it's about how it ends. Back soon, Blues. Thank you. Thanks for the support. So Joao Felix still just has one game to go, suspension. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to play against Fulham, because that is going to be our next game. But he said, it doesn't matter how it started, it matters how it's going to end. So this is a brother who is hungry to prove people wrong. And it was just a mistake in the Premier League. Bam, got the red card. It can happen. The worst moment really to get the red card, because we score one goal and there was 1-1, and then we were going for it. We were going for it. I'm sure if he was still on the pitch, we were going to win that game. It didn't happen. It is what it is, but I'm very confident, especially about the Champions League. I don't know, but I have that weird feelings that we can do something, at least semi-final or final. Something is going to happen. Dortmund, I think we're going to completely destroy them. And then bring it on. Bring PSG, bring Manchester City, bring whoever in that stage of the competition. On your day, you can beat anybody. So, nice to see that Mr. Joao Felix sent a message to say, hey, don't give up on me. I'm still here, and we can still do something this season. It doesn't matter how it started. It started with a red card. It might end by a big trophy with big ears lifted at the end. So let's wait and see what's gonna happen. So people, slowly and surely we're going to the end, but we still have few times here because Victor is back, and I'm still have a little bit of time in the clock.
Yeah, was.
Yes.
So like I was saying, and Brother Henry, or I think was it Ishmael was making my point and buttressing what I was trying to say. And it's very, very important moving forward is that we get coaches, even if they are here temporarily, because Chelsea has that nasty habit of firing coaches at the least problem. But hopefully this is a new era, and that we, because if Potter is surviving this, then it is giving us an inkling into the patterns of these new bosses, that they will not necessarily fire coaches at will, because for the last couple of weeks, or maybe 3 or 4 weeks, Potter was in deep trouble when we were actually on a losing streak, like losing 7 of 9 games or something like that. And if he's still here, then it means that they will at least back him. So we don't know yet. We don't have any clue whether this guy has the temerity to be able to go out there and really make these, new signings, young players and all of that work. We are yet to see that. So all of us, a lot of Chelsea fans are now holding their judgment until, of course, this season is over and we start a new one. And it seems like, we have all these great players we've signed. My issue still remains that what are we going to do with this 32 man roster? Who's going to be let go during the summer and who's going to stay? I really, really want us. The thing is, I really want us to give the chances to these younger players. I can't emphasize this enough, because there's a player in Gallagher. Look at how he was performing. You could say whatever you want when he was at Crystal Palace, but he was great. He was great. Crystal Palace was playing against the same teams we are playing against, and he was amazing there. So either he's not being played in his rightful position, or he's not being given the right pep talk before he goes on the stage, he goes on the field to play. Or you put Gallagher up front, but you still put Jorginho back there. So Jorginho will always find a way to pass to the side or to the back, so Gallagher will not get the ball. And if he gets 5 balls, as opposed to getting 15 balls if he were in Palace, at least he would do something with more chances in 15 passes than if he gets only 5. Then it seems like he's inadequate because you are not using him. He's not getting the balls often. Look, Aubameyang, could you say whatever you want with Aubameyang? Aubameyang beat us up and won the FA Cup. Like 5-6 years ago when we played them in the final against Arsenal. Aubameyang is not all of a sudden a poor striker. It's impossible that we don't see the problems we have at Chelsea. The core is rotten to the core. It's really bad, and we keep sticking with that. And if we don't change that right now, all these other players we bought, they might come in, their cameo appearances look amazing. They might have 1 or 2 games that are great, but then it goes back. Because if you have more rotten core, they are more likely to pull back these great players to their standards than for them to rise up to the standards of these great players that we sign and spend so much money on. Timo Werner goes back to Germany and he's scoring again. He couldn't score for his life when he was at Chelsea. And so we have to continue.
I think you and me, we know that. And the new team also know it. It's just not that easy to just come and change the philosophy, change everything the same time. Like I said, every company, every organization. If you and me can tell exactly what is going on, they can tell too. We have 4 directors who worked in big organizations. That's what they've been doing for their entire lives. And you can see what kind of players that we are looking for. We are not panic buying just because somebody is on the market. You can see the target. You can see even the people that we never heard of. We go and we get them. So just like in any company, when Todd Boehly bought this team, you know, the first month he had to trust the manager because he didn't know anything. He took the sporting director position on his own and was looking for people to help. We made a huge mistake, spent 300 million that probably we're not gonna get back. Now he got people. We got people who are paid a lot of money. And if you look at the recruitment, how can you buy a 17, 18 years old for 20 million and sabotage that player? No. This is an investment, Mr. Victor. This is an investment they have at some point to stop spending and develop and build the stadium and start getting the return on investment. I think everything is timed. Everything is going according to the plan. So just because we are not using 11 or 25 academy product doesn't mean that this is the way it's going to be. We have to continue a little bit with what we got, just like they did with Thomas Tuchel, trusted him, made mistakes, and now we have to correct the mistake. It's going to happen, and only like 3-4 months to go. This is end of January. February is a very short month, and the next thing you know, it's already March, April, May. It's over. So we still here like for 3 months. So I think we should just relax. Because
Mr. My problem is this. Chelsea has this habit of buying a player and they come in and then they go off loan. We have so many players like that.
We don't have that habit anymore. You don't understand.
We do. We still do. Fofana is likely to go on loan. Caicedo is going on loan. And if he was any other team, right, they will play him. He will be a star overnight, and then we will go and buy him for 85 million quid. This is what we do. But we will not play these players because we go and get them, and Jorginho is still here. And I know I make him as an example, but that's the problem we have at Chelsea. Why are these players bought only to send on loans for others to benefit from it? I have not seen one player. You can name them. You can actually point it out to me and name it to me right now. Us that we sent on loan, we brought back to the team later, and he was amazing.
That's why I tell you to be patient. If you can let me finish.
But you said, but right now we still doing that though. Right now we have bought on loan. Right now we have bought a lot of players that actually are on their way to loans. We are sending them away on loans right now.
But let me now explain to you, because you are so confused. You just confuse the two regimes that's what Chelsea do. That's what Chelsea do. What I'm trying to make a point here is, yes, we were that way, sending people on loan. And we're going to continue to send people on loan because you can't keep 50 players in the payroll. It's too much. So this is a business. There are certain players that even we buy them, they're not going to make it a Chelsea. We might make a profit out of them. So Chelsea also is a business. I don't see anything wrong.
But you
don't let me finish. That's the problem.
But we have not made that profit, Oz. We have not made that profit.
Yes, because the project is few months old. It's few months old. Wait until summer and you will see people go and people come, and we're going to send some people on loan because that's how every big club going to operate. You can't keep 50 players just because...
I did not say that. I think we are talking past each other.
We have to sell some players.
Yes. What I'm saying to you is this. I did not say that we should. What Abramovic era was doing has not stopped. We have still bought players right now that are being sent on loan in the new era, right? We send them on loan. They come back. Look. We don't have one player that if we are thinking that we are going to buy these players, send them on loan, they actually get to play, and then they come back and play for us. That's the ultimate goal. Because if the idea is to buy and sell them for a better price, the last time I saw that was Eden Hazard. That's the last player we have bought and made profit on. And at the moment, I have not seen any player that we sent out there on loan or sold after we bought, and we made profit out of them. None of them. Lukaku, Timo Werner, all of them go.
That's why I said you are mixing everything and you don't understand that we have new owners, we have a new process that will take few months, and you are going to start seeing effect. You are mixing everything together. But Mr. GP, you have a lot of people around you, a lot of noise. We can't even hear what we're saying here in the studio. So I'm going to take you off. When you are in the more calm position, you can call because we can hear everything from your back room. So, Mr. Victor, what I'm trying to say here is that it looks like you have a mindset, I have a mindset, and we're not going to agree on anything here. Bottom line is there are new people who just bought the company few months ago, and you are comparing the same with the people who've been there for 20 years of doing things a certain way. Now we have people who are in transition. So the transition is just not going to take 1 month. I bought a company, everybody out. I'm not going to sell anymore. No more loan. Or the kid, promote them to the Premier. It doesn't happen this way. It's just simple common sense. That's why I said give them two transfer window. The first one was last summer. They trusted the manager. They made a mistake. Now they took the people who know the job. 4 directors who've been working in football longer than you and me. They know what they're doing. They target people, and they got those people, and we see immediately how the change is being made. I know you are referring to Caicedo, who went on loan because he's too good to be in the academy. There is nothing wrong by sending somebody to the championship, have some experience. We have probably 10 goalkeepers, including the young Gaga from Chicago. How are you going to fit 10 goalkeepers at Chelsea? So learning certain players is a process that every good team is going to do. And also, before I finish, and Chelsea are going to be multi-clubs. Todd Boehly said it clearly. We are buying those players. Some of them are going to be developed in our sister or our brother's club somewhere. You know, so it doesn't mean that if we buy somebody, we are obligated to use that player at Chelsea Football Club. You can't keep 50 players.
I have not argued for that. Right now, there's 32 already, and we are in trouble. We have to let 7 of them go. I am not saying that, Ross. I am saying that even though you keep saying that we have a new era, the new era is following in the patterns and ways.
No way. We are different.
No. Can I finish? They are following in those patterns. Why? Because they have also bought a lot of players who are not going to see the green turf, using your term, of Chelsea. Of Chelsea's what is called Stamford Bridge. Why? Because they are sending them off on loans. Now, if any player is good enough or better than the academy, they should be on our first team. That's what I'm saying. Why is it that we do not invest 5 million quid like they did with Caicedo or whatever from Brighton, or the guy that we are going after in Benfica? Yeah, he was bought like what, 50 million?
Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo Fernandez, 50 million. Why is it that a good academy and a good, even in a short while, you could identify in the football world people that cost a fraction of how much these players are costed, and go out there and invest in those players and make them better. Because we are trash anyway.
Because the project is few months old. If you count also the World Cup, and we just hire certain people now. There are certain people who've been in the job for less than 2 months. Football is not like a supermarket where you have to go immediately, you detect people, immediately you sign them. We saw, nobody heard about Datro Fofana the way we knew him, because Paul Stanley used to work at Brighton and been following him for years. They followed Caicedo for years before you make a decision. And we also followed the other guy, Noni Mudryk. Mudryk also is been Vivel, been following him. Let me finish because I'll let you finish. So
okay,
Vivel,
come in. I didn't say, well, you can finish here.
Yeah, so Vivel also was following that guy for years. So scouting is not just because somebody found Caicedo. You forgot they found him 3 years ago. It doesn't just happen overnight. You just hire director and new scouting in the team, and all of a sudden, okay, you have to find me the next Enzo Fernandez, the next Neymar. They are working behind the scenes that we don't see, but this is a work that will take months. It will take even years of following a young player, the background of that young player, the family issue. It's a lot of stuff that take place when it comes to scouting. It's not what you try to explain to us.
Okay, for me, what I'm saying to you is this: Oz, it's either you have it this way, you have your cake, or you eat it. You can't have both. Are we now a club that is requiring of its fans to sit down and see if players are developed within the course of time, 2, 3, 4 years, and during that time we should be okay with the results that we do get? Or are we a team that wants some kind of instant results or hybrid? Because we are spending a lot of money that play at teams, even at the standard at which we are spending money, it is Madrid level. And Madrid has instant results, and they are winning Champions League now. You are telling me that you are going to spend 100 million here, 100 million there, 75 million there, all this money, and then in the same breath, you turn around and tell me, oh, they just came on board and we have to give them time. When you give people time,
Victor, I'm confused. I don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Because you have to know how to land quickly, so it gives us also the opportunity to.
Okay,
because it's too long and we are confused now. We don't know even what we're talking about. Yeah.
You went on and explained my position. I want to finish what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
What I'm saying is this: that we have to understand it's either one way or the other. If we are going to invest that kind of money, what kind of expectations do we fans have to have? If we decide that we are a team that is able to develop players because we are about to buy players and send them away, or is it a hybrid of both? If it's a hybrid of both, all of this comes with expectation. The reason why these clubs exist is because of us fans and what we should expect from them because of what investment they've made, or if they have made none. But if you make any investments in your club, the investment should yield something in a short and a long run. So these kinds of investments we are making, 100 million there, 100 million there, over there. What kind of expectation do we fans have? Do we still have to wait for 2-3 years for them to develop? Or do we have to expect instant results? Because I know that I'm not going to sit here for 3 years for any process to develop, because I am not going to see Chelsea go all the way to the relegation.
Okay, now somebody else can talk because I'm a little lost, to be honest.
Brothers, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, first of all, Brother Oz, don't be mad at Brother Victor. It's just passion.
Yeah, I know. We get into it every single day. So we know each other. This is my own brother. Don't worry about it. Okay. We got into it every day. So yeah, don't worry. Him and me, we are so passionate about our club. So it's normal that it gets heated a little bit. Yeah, go on.
Yes, let me address what Brother Victor just said. Brother Victor, one thing we have to remember is we as Chelsea fans, we are very spoiled. And the reason why I say we are very spoiled is because since Abramovic took over, we did not have any time to build anything. Everything was we buy the players for the coach who's there at that particular moment, and then if he doesn't bring trophies, if he doesn't get top 4, if he doesn't win the league, the next one comes in and he brings in his pack of players, and this is how we kept on going since 2004. Now that we have the time, now that we have the time, and Todd Bowley took over. First of all, we have to remember Potter didn't even have a pre-season yet.
Yeah,
that's the first part. The second part is the sporting director, especially the main one, which is Vivel, actually took over in January when Todd B stepped down as a sporting director. So it's actually this month.
Yeah.
And when it comes to recruitment, yes, you're right. We used to make a mistake in the past, but we know that we had the best academy in the whole of the Premier League when it comes to youngsters. The issue was because there was no appropriate sporting director since Eminalo. This is why you said Hazard. Since Eminalo, all the youngsters were being sent off so that they're not on the books for us. They were not properly scouted. They were not properly looked at game by game, and there was no balance when it comes to them integrating to the first team.
Yeah.
And also one more thing, these coaches that used to come in, they used to come in under pressure.
Yes.
And when they come in under pressure, the coaches we used to bring were utility coaches. What I mean by that is they were glory hunters. It's either they perform something in that same season they came in, or they're going to get the sack from Roman.
Yeah.
So them being those kind of coaches, they used to use the more experienced
players. Yeah.
Yes, because they never had the time to integrate anybody when Roman was breathing down their neck. Now that Todd Bowley took over, and we didn't even have a preseason yet, players like Caicedo, yes, they can go on loan, but they can be recalled in the preseason.
Exactly.
Just like when you saw Levi Colwell in the Crystal Palace game, when Mudryk was being announced, he was sitting next to him. Why? Because Potter called him, even though he was on loan at Brighton, and he was convincing him to sign a 7-year contract, just like the rest, to show him that he's going to have a place in the future with the team. So now the integration that the brother Victor is talking about, it is going to happen. But you have to remember one thing. Arsenal fans, as much as we hate them, they were asking for Arteta's head just last season.
Yeah.
Even though he was in Arsenal for almost 3 years. They were calling him Pep's Comboy and everything else, especially AFTV and robbing them. So we know that great things take time. And since we never built anything and we are very spoiled of choice when it comes to being the most decorated team in the Premier League, thanks to Roman Abramovich, now this season we have to suffer because we can see the project is heading somewhere. And we are going to be very scary in the future, especially after him having a preseason.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Ismail makes a whole book.
Can I greet other brothers, and we're gonna go back to Victor. Henry, you are back.
We need to go faster.
Yeah, Jean Paul, you have a lot of noise. I think you have another window on your computer playing some kind of another video, so we can hear.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stop it.
So if you stop what is around you in the same computer, we can hear you. You haven't said anything because I can't let you talk. There's a lot of noise. Do you have anything to add here when it comes to the new direction at Chelsea Football Club? Do you trust the new owners, or you think they are just the same people as Abramovich?
So the way I'm gonna say is like I'm gonna also support the way our brothers say right now. So it's a good idea for me. We have been talking down in the morning, and you say about it, and I see on the paper news everything. Those boys have a good mind. A new project is better. He need to suffer. And if I remember 2003, Roman Abramovic, before he took over like a Chelsea football club, he suffered like too much to put the club, to put Chelsea go ahead to become a big club than big club again. And the second I'm going to say, Brother Victor, Les Graham Potter is a new project manager for the young kids. Charlie Webster, my brother Victor, is a good young player in the midfield. Caicedo is like good player on the midfield. He play like the way we see like Conor Gallagher. And if you remember, Jose Mourinho, we have been suffering with John Obi Mikel injuries, Malouda, whatever, something like that. He used to play David Luiz on the DMA in the midfield just to protect the defense. So right now, Porra just start using like a Chaloba on the play like training grounds to play that position. Our whole legend, even if you see John Terry, he always be over there on the training ground to watch the young kids. Even Joe Cole, Ashley Cole, the all grand player, they're all still there. The way I'm gonna say, let's loan some player out, then they're gonna come in. After Todd Ball gonna like make a 2-window transfer. I know people yelling, oh, he doesn't know football, doesn't know soccer. Okay, we agreed about that. Right now, Europe, they make like a jealous because the way our president buy a player. Those player, Mr. Fact talk in the morning, is not a Grand Porra player. Is the president player. Roman Abramovich didn't do that. Roman Abramovich, he give chance to the coach to choose the players. Then he gonna brought the superstar, only one player, that's it. But those players who our new president built there, and soon when he done with Chelsea, I know, and God willing, he gonna buy another club. He suffer to buy another club, maybe Portugal and France or Spain.
Yeah, we are working on it. We have George or whatever, Mendes it is. People, there is a lot of stuff that's been done behind the scenes that we don't see. So we just comment on what we see at the moment. But I think we're going to have a multi-club. We're going to buy a few clubs around Europe, and some of our players
in fact, I can interrupt you. That's why I'm going to add for Brother Victor, the way you see president buy a goalkeeper, Gaga Slonina, he start to...
Oh, somebody's gone. I don't know who. Oh, he just disconnected. Brother, come back. What the heck? Okay, so we lost Mr. GP. I don't know for what reason. Come back, my brother. Come. All right. Anybody that want to add something? We still have 10 minutes to go. And people on YouTube, if you can help me get 100 likes, it doesn't cost you anything. 100 only. Brother been here for 2 hours or more than 2 hours. If you can help me with 1 second of your life, help me get 100 likes before I leave. We're still here for at least 10 or 15 minutes, I don't know. So I hope that everybody can understand that we have to be very short. Go straight to the point, make your point, and let somebody talk, because I'm going to have to go and pick up my Blue Army somewhere in like 30 minutes, but I have to get there in advance so I can be on time. So if we can really keep it short and sweet and to the point, I will really appreciate that. So people, I'm looking for 20 likes, only 20 likes. If you can help me get to 100 likes before I leave, I will appreciate that. All right, so we have Jean-Paul and Mr. Victor back.
I need to respond to what I not necessarily respond, but I have to add on to my point here.
You are very far. You are far away. What's going on with your microphone?
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you properly.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. Yeah. Now
what I'm saying is that I need to kind of respond, not necessarily respond or retort, but I need to make a point here. I am not. You know, my judgments are reserved, right, when it comes to Potter.
Yeah.
Potter, I don't think is a Chelsea caliber manager at all. I do not believe that one bit, and I will be proven right, because if you are the manager of a team like Chelsea, you don't say, oh, it was a privilege to come to Manchester City and play. No, you say that we came in here trying to beat this team. You know what? The teams that are the coaches that come in and you can tell they have a spine. They have a philosophy, and right the first couple of weeks, this man said he spent the entire World Cup period, the 6 weeks he spent thinking about Chelsea, and he came back and played the same way and put the same players on the field. So I don't believe that he knows what he's doing. Now, what has he done? You all are saying he has a project. No, he's being given money, folks. He is not developing any player. Pulisic is not better. None of the players are better. The better team, the better player in our game today, he's been here for a long time. Unless you guys are saying that we have to pay these managers enormous amount of money and they do nothing. But if he's been doing something, what has he been doing for weeks? That for all the time he's been there, our best player continuously has been a 38-year-old man who came in with his experience already. What has he done? So he might improve, but it's because he is a second Mourinho. It's because we invested hundreds of millions of pounds in him. That is not a great, coach.
Which coach do you need, Victor?
Like I said, go straight to the point, because I told you I have
Victor,
to drive.
we need your choice, coach.
So what I'm saying to you is that for me to say that somebody is a great coach is to use what you have, go to the basics, use players that you can develop and get something out of them. You don't ask your owner to throw at you hundreds of millions of pounds, and if you are able to put the juggle together, you feel like, okay, now I'm a better coach. No. If he came in with a reputation of being a coach of Brighton and he's that good, and Brighton have no real known name, why should we go and get him a £100 million midfielder for him to succeed? He should be able to do the same at Chelsea. We are not asking the right questions, folks. And it's about time.
Can you land, please? Can you land?
I am finished.
Yeah. Okay, so to his defense, let me just be the devil advocate here. First of all, I'm not a big fan of him. He is so far because I'm giving him the probation time. I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt because his decision-making been really poor, in my opinion. You know, so in that logic, I agree with you in that he doesn't have balls to bench certain players or change something. To his defense, I will go and tell you that you talked about the World Cup period. He was thinking about Chelsea. We went to Dubai and we have a pre-season. 13 academy product. 13 academy product. One of them got an ACL injury and is going to be out for the rest of the season. Okay. So 13 academy kid with only few first team players. Everybody pretty much was injured. So in that preseason World Cup period, you have to understand that you can't do anything with a bunch of kids because only like few odd players are going to play in the first team. And talking about spending a lot of money, I think you've been a little bit harsh. Yes, we spent money. And for how long? It's just because you can buy Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Joao Felix, Mudryk, every big name that you know today. You put them together today, they gel together, and you start winning. In the real world, it doesn't happen that way. In the pitch of football, it takes time to build that. I don't think we can really be that harsh on him in this point, even with the money spent, because he hasn't really worked with them yet. We haven't seen Joao Felix and Mudryk play together, or David Datro Fofana or Madueke. We haven't seen them, so I think it's premature to start judging him based on money for somebody who hasn't really had any preseason. So I think Mr. Victor, at least give him the remaining of like 3 months. Like normally right now we have like 3 months because January is over, February is very short. The next thing you know is, it's April, March, May, whatever it is, the season is over. So I think a manager, even if you give him money, he deserves a preseason, a proper preseason, and he's gonna choose, okay, this is my 25 player squad that I can work with. Sometimes when you have so many players in the team, it's become a distraction, and every manager will tell you that they need to like cut off certain people in order for them to start working. So that's me here being, kind of partial in the middle. Mr. Jean-Paul, you have to say something now and say goodbye to people because I have to go.
Okay, I know today's weekend fact. So, so I'm gonna say I know Mr. Victor or everybody, we suffer and we care about our club. Sometimes, let's say like a Porter, I know he brought, President brought Fofana, that throw Fofana there, our new generation Drogba, whatever, something they call him. But he never used property. Like he don't want to trust him. Look like Aubameyang.
Oh, you mean that he doesn't want to use him? He doesn't want to trust. He doesn't trust Fofana. So you think the board? Let me make sure that we understand. You say that the board are buying players that the manager don't rate, so he doesn't use them.
Yeah, look like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way I see. Because remember when we beat Crystal Palace 1-0. Aubameyang, whatever, just coming, whatever, I don't remember, even those 2 games we play. Aubameyang just came, he didn't touch anything. Put that throw for Fofana is very fast. He can dribble over there on the striking line and create something. So the way I'm going to add about combination between Mudryk and Joao Felix, even in Europe right now, everybody, even UEFA, even FIFA, they always be watching Chelsea. Bro, 2 seasons, if we are out of Europe, whatever, the champions of Europe, whatever Champions League, bro, is it gonna be happening on our club? They're gonna blame our club. We're gonna go to financial player situation because we put a lot of money. We are out of the a Cup of Europe, whatever, something like that. So for me, let's give Grand Porro 2 months or 3 months. For us, we are all human beings, but the board, they're not gonna suffering to put all money down and watching Porro what he's doing. But for me, if they're gonna bring a manager, for me, I would like maybe to not bring back Mourinho. They can take Thomas Tuchel. He can come back. Okay. Because that is my idea. And focus.
So go on.
And then we can focus about the new like a schedule about Fulham. Then we can go out for it. We can be together, unity on the single room and chant for the club. And then that's it. Bonne nuit.
Okay, thank you. Good night. That bonne nuit. What he meant, he want Thomas Tuchel back. But I tell you why. What people don't understand is we are at the beginning of the project and the owners have a long-term project. Thomas Tuchel is not a project manager. He is somebody to come and finish and win you something. So probably in the future, after 1 season or 2, when, we develop certain players, he can come and impose his style and his charisma and win something. Because not every project manager is going to win you anything. It's just like your primary teacher, right? Your primary school teacher, they are good, they understand because you're still a kid, they have emotions. And then as you grow, as you go to more, complicated classes and you have more complicated teachers. So that I don't think Thomas Tuchel is coming back. The owners want somebody who can cooperate with them and can have the same vision. So I don't think it's going to happen. But thank you so much, Mr. GP, Jean-Pierre, for Jean-Paul, not even Jean-Pierre, for stopping by. Much appreciated. We're going to go here and Mr. Henry Gordon. Empty your pocket and say goodbye to people, my brother. Are you still there? He's sleeping.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. You conclude, my friend. Any topic that you want to conclude with, just go for it.
Well, to me, I don't want Mourinho back. I don't want Tuchel back. We have a new generation of managers that we should trust. Porter is among them. You have De Zerbi, you have Marco Silva, you have Thomas Frank. Those are the new generation. I think we should give these people like this a chance. So I'm going to give Porter a chance. I remember when Arsene Wenger came to Arsenal, he didn't just use academy players. He brought in players. He brought Will Todd. He brought Henry to come and activate. You bring other players to come and activate what is.
What you're trying to implement. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I think that's what it helped, and he started winning games. So I think I'm going to give him the season. If I could give him a season and a half, I would do that. So, but I'm not the board, but I'll give him the season. I want to give him a full season, if possible, to implement the idea. So,
yeah, okay.
Again,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you all, my other brothers, for your insight. It was very helpful.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank you for helping. Let's go to Ishmael. That's your last word, and we're gonna finish by Victor. Ishmael, what do you have to say?
Yes, I would agree with Brother Henry, and I would give Potter at least until next season, January.
Okay.
Give him a preseason, and let him implement his ideology in the new players.
Yeah.
Because when a new player comes into a new country, these are human beings after all.
Yeah.
They need to settle down. They need to get used to the city. They need to get used to the players around them, the environment, the system. So things usually naturally take time. So I'll give him until next year, January, and then we can assess and go from there. And one more thing, when it comes to our strikers, especially what Brother Victor was talking about, all we need as Chelsea fans is consistency. If we get a little bit of consistency, all these questions and this pressure will ease off. So I hope, and as you said earlier, Brother Oz, I have this funny feeling about the Champions League too.
Yeah.
And even Paul Mason, one of the pundits in Sky Sports, the Arsenal fan, he even said, I have a funny feeling about the Champions League when it comes to Chelsea. So the reason why all our strikers, since Diego Costa, and before that as well, were struggling is because there is no link between the attack and the forward line. Why? Because there is no creativity. All these players need someone to feed them. Gallagher is not the type of player that's going to feed players. Mount, when he does feed players, we saw what Kai did in the Champions League final. If we don't have creativity in our midfield, none of our attack is going to work. So now that we got Joao Felix and we got Mudryk, and we saw glimpses of his through balls and his creativity in the Liverpool game, and Nkunku and Madueke coming in, I think all the strikers are going to be fine.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you guys for having me on. And
no problem, my brother. Come back tomorrow morning. We might have another show, and the transfer window is gonna end like in a few days. So we have a lot of shows, a lot of breaking news. Put your notification on. And God bless you. Peace and love to the family, my brother. Thank you.
I will always be here to support.
All right. Thank you, some love, Ishmael.
All right, let's go, Victor, to finish. And before Victor finish, because when he finishes his last word, I will immediately leave. So I want to ask you guys, only few clicks to go until we get to 100 likes. So if you can help me get to that point, only like 11 likes to go until 100. So please help your brother here get 100 likes before I leave. Let's do it. Okay, Victor, you to finish.
All right, Mr. Oz, thank you for the opportunity again. And I will also reiterate what I was saying. Please support the channel and give the like so that we can continue to come here and air our grievances of what Chelsea does to us. We all come here as fans. We love Chelsea. We want Chelsea to succeed, but we are tired of the suffering. The reason why I am always full of criticism is that we do the same investments. We should expect the same return. I mean, the thing is, you might say that it takes time. By the time that we are asking, nobody will say that of Madrid. Even the worst time that we've seen our FC Barcelona and the rest, unless you don't want us to compare ourselves to those teams. But Barcelona, even the years that they are having difficult time letting Messi go, they are still doing very well in the league. Because of the investment. That is everything. If we keep losing games, I do not care what anybody says. People will say, all the pundits will say to you, all the banter will come at you and say, with that kind of investment, why is it not working? It will come at you. And if we keep losing, nobody cares about a project, folks. I do not know how many times to say this. If you invest that kind of money in any club, project be done. If you're not getting results, the results is everything. And the way we play is everything. So my points are twofold. Okay, I do not trust the coach. I don't think that he's a Chelsea coach, but maybe he might come good. But right now, by his performance and the decisions he makes concerning the players we have now, because you don't need years to know your players. There's only 24 of them. I work with people. I am obliged to know how all the people I work with function. He has videos. He has all this footage about the players. He's heard about them. He's seen them play. He should be able to know his players and combine a winning team, especially if we keep adding on all these expensive ones as well. He should be able to add a team or put the team together for us to go win. We have not given him that time. Fine, I agree. We'll give him that time. When my point to the board is that they should stop throwing money at every problem they see. There's too much money coming from Chelsea to other clubs for very little return. We put too much pressure on these players because they come with a heavy price tag. We should try and recruit and stay with that. And if our own players are not doing well, improve them and make them better, because we cannot sustain this expenditure. I do not care what kind of project it is. That is all adding to the pressure on these players who are not able to perform. So these are twofold. Potter should know that his players put a team together to win because we've invested. And then I'm telling the board to try and be a little bit moderate in their expenditure, because it's too much money they are putting out there. And that's why nobody will sell a player to us under £50 million, because they know we have the money. We paid 60 million for Cucurella, and Manchester said 40 million, that is it, done. And we spent 20 million pounds more, and Cucurella is sitting on the bench. If this is a project, I don't understand where it's coming from. So these are the problems. We love Chelsea. That's why we criticize it. If you love something, you see its fault, you want to make it better. So I will continue to be a critic until we get to a point where we can win easily, like Manchester does week in and week out. I mean, Manchester City. Even United is doing better now. But we have suffered enough. We need a little bit of improvement. Also, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, brother.
And go and get the blue army, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Victor. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Goodbyes. See you tomorrow when I walk up, of course, because the blue army might be a lot of noise during the night. But hey, tomorrow we have another show, or probably couple shows. I don't know how, but God bless you. And if you can bless me the last minute with one like, I will take it. I'm not going to refuse it. So let's get to 100 likes, and I'll see you next time. Blessings.